here's inspiration for another fanfic, similar to the one I wrote, titled "You Won't Believe Who Answered the Door." So, we're gonna start off, in the later seasons of the show, in A Troop, in the A Troop building, and all the students have already left. It's just the teachers left over. So Michelle and Alden are on their way out, and she asks, because they're now together, when is she going to meet his parents? Right? So let's assume that they didn't, Michelle didn't meet his parents when they were together. Let's assume that is the case, or she only met his mom, or his aunt and uncle, or something like that. And so she asks, when am I going to meet your parents? And Alden's like, you can come by my house tonight, and I'll introduce you. Maybe, something like that. Gives her the address, and they meet up later. Well, not later, but or maybe they make a plan to meet on a different date, and so Michelle comes maybe the next day to meet his dad. And when she knocks on the door, Lucy answers. And she's confused. She thinks she's got the wrong house. So she's like, wait, Lucy, what are you doing here? Looks down at the paper like, did I get the wrong address? I'm just gonna go. And then Lucy's like, Michelle, right? I was like, yeah. Yeah, why? Yeah, that's my name, why? It's like, oh, you're the one my kid's always talking about. And Michelle's like, you have a kid? Not cluing in that this could be Alden's father, right? Meanwhile, while they're having a little conversation, Alden notices that Michelle is at the door talking to Lucien, and decides to cower and just eavesdrop on them. Then, once Michelle leaves, Alden goes out the back door and pretends as if he's just running into her on this, passing by the house kind of thing. And, Michelle's like, that's weird. I went to the address you recommended me, but it was Lucien at the door. I didn't think Lucien lived in this area. Kind of thing. Something along those lines. They have a little conversation. He's like, really? I didn't know that either. Faking it, obviously. Then they talk a little while. And then there's a time jump. Then we go the next day. And the A Troop building. It's, Nick and Alden are out getting stuff for the studio, and have left Emily and Michelle in charge. I feel like they could all co-own it in the 10th season. I actually don't know how finances work, so I would like to imagine that they're co-owning it in the 10th season, so let's just go with that. So Michelle and Emily are now watching the studio, and the students are there, and they're in the office. And Michelle points out what happened. So, or no, So Emily asks, so, what is, Eldon's power, like, what are Eldon's parents like? Because I never got to meet them. Because I don't think he would have, if he didn't introduce Michelle, I don't think he would have introduced Emily to them. And Michelle's like, it's the strangest thing. Eldon gave me this address, and I went to the house, but Lucien was the one who answered. And no sight of Eldon anywhere. Like, so I'm like, so I was thinking that he gave me the wrong address, but I don't know what he meant to put or something like that. And then Emily picks up on, wait a minute. Neither of us have met his parents. He was acting suspicious. Maybe she noticed his suspicious behavior when he met up with her the other day and told Emily about it. You said he was acting suspicious, so what if he gave you the right address and Lucien's related to Eldon somehow? Like, and Michelle's like, you don't seriously think that Lucien could be Eldon's father, do you? And Emily's like, well, that would explain a lot. It would explain why he's here all the time, why Lucien's here all the time, why Eldon doesn't want us to meet his father, and why he kept it all a secret, why he didn't want anyone to know who his father was, any of his friends. It would explain a lot. So Michelle and Emily decide to go to that house again, maybe together, while Eldon's out, and ask Lucien what's up, see if he'll answer. And Lucien will probably lie for his son, but Emily will see right through it and ask him to tell the truth, or demand he tell the truth to them, and then he'll cave, and that's how the girls will find out that Lucien and Eldon are father and son. I got this idea because I heard based on I was watching Riley react, or Brittany Raymond react to her time on The Next Step, and she revealed that Eldon and Lucien's actors are related IRL as father and son, and I was like, what if their characters are secretly related? Wouldn't that be fun? Ooh. I would love for that to be the case. To be like a big plot twist, season 10, we find out that Lucien and Eldon were father-son this entire time, and maybe that's why Lucien hangs around The Next Step as often as he does, for it being his rival studio. And yeah, it's a bonus for him to bug Mesquite, but like, maybe what we're not seeing is every time Lucien shows up, he's trying to convince Eldon to switch studios to his own. And maybe everyone at Elite, including Amanda, knows about Eldon and Lucien's connection, and that's part of the reason why he doesn't want to go to Elite, because he doesn't want to, like, say he gets a solo, and all of his peers think, oh, that you just got that solo because the choreographer's your dad, kind of thing. Plus, I think he preferred the teaching styles at The Next Step over Elite. That could be another reason. Maybe the reason why Lucien is always mad at Miss Kate or bugging her is because he blames Miss Kate for Eldon's decision to be the next step. Just an idea. But that's where I'm at now with that story. So, wait. So the girls have just found out that Lucian and Alden are related. So maybe they do something at the studio to try and get him to reveal his secret. They trick him into revealing it or something. That might be fun. See them work together to get him to reveal his secret. That might be fun. That's where I'm at with that one. Don't know what I'm going to call it yet, though.